All right. Welcome back. We are now at the hook of I Can't Make You Love Me. And we're going to actually, as we enter, it's the end of this pre-chorus thing that we did. Because if you're familiar with the song, you'll know that the chorus goes 1, 2, 3. 'Cause I can't make. So the word make falls right on beat 1. So we've got to do the lead up to that. So I'm going to show you. We're going to actually be starting there. Okay. So you'll see this on your screen. The first chord that we're going to need is it's kind of a neat chord. You're going to do pinky, third finger. Those are at the 6th fret. And then you're going to put your first finger here. Now this is sort of like a G-shaped chord, and when you include that third string fretted, that's called a Nashville G chord. But we're going to leave that low note off. We're just going to do it like this. Okay. So here's what I do. We roll up the chord. And then you're going to pluck the first string again, hammer that on. So that's you. 'Cause I can't make. Okay. Now you're going to leave the third finger down. You're going to put the second finger on the 6th fret. Okay. And you're going to play the 5th string and the 1st string. Okay, so what I do there is you could do this, you could do that with thumb, index, and middle. Make you. Okay. You can do pull-offs or not. That's up to your artistic choice. And so that's just a little bit of accompaniment, those open strings going into that. That's actually how I do it. Make you love. I put a bass note on the word love. I can't make. So basically, it's if you had plain old chord shapes, it's like a G shape, even though we're capoed up, it's a B flat chord. 'Cause I can't make you love me if you don't. Okay, we haven't gotten there yet. But of course, we're dancing around the chords and getting all sorts of nice little extra stuff. Okay. Let's start again. Now watch what I do. Now the rhythm on that is a little bit tricky. It's not what you'd expect. It was a little hard for me to figure out exactly what she was singing. So here's the rhythm. I'm going to sing it to you one time. Baby, take it down. Ready? And that was the doggy dong that was the accompaniment. Okay, again. Okay. So That's the vocal part. That's accompaniment, okay? The reason I added some rhythm to that was very often when somebody sings something bluesy, like the way Bonnie Raitt sings that, there's a little bit of a musical illusion going on. You think that sometimes the rhythms are simple and right on a beat, and they happen to be a little bit on a beat that you don't expect. So I kind of connected the dots in my own personal way on that. This wouldn't be perceived quite as syncopated as it is. It just sort of sounds like the vocal line, if you don't, it just kind of sounds like the meat is falling off the bone, so to speak. But I actually do bam bo dega danga dun, bam ba ba dooby dun. I actually play that rhythm pretty precisely. But because the whole song has kind of a soft feel to it, it's not an in-your-face kind of rhythm. Okay, let me do that for you one more time, nice and slow. How about we do it from the pre-chorus so you can hear it come in after those. Don't patronize with the rolls. You can hear it come in. Okay, here we go. Okay, now we didn't do that yet. You can. But that's going to be going into bars 3 and 4 of the hook. Okay, I'm going to do that same thing for you one more time, coming out of the pre-chorus and doing the first 2 bars of the hook. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to be into bars 3 and 4 of the hook. So let's go on to the next video and do bars 3 and 4. All right. All righty. We are back, and this is going to be bars 3 and 4 of the hook. And we left off on the last video with this chord. Now that is actually a pickup to bar 3. So it falls right on the 4th beat of the previous measure. And we're going to land on bar 3 with, we're going to hold this note again, 2nd finger, so it's sort of a pseudo C-shaped chord. And we're going to be playing the 5th string and the, 5th string and the 1st string. Okay, so the sound of that is going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay, similar to how we got into the first bar. So once we're in there, and then I like to go in here with the right hand. I'm on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. So I adjust my hand position. Okay, so the melody is, you can't make your, except I'm adding a couple of in-between accompaniment notes. So I'm going, you can't make your, okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then I just added a little bit more there. I went, Okay. Then I like to do this next thing with the thumb. This is kind of tricky, but I'll show you why I'm doing it this way. It might seem unnecessarily tricky. So I'm playing these two notes, and then with the thumb, I'm going to play. I'm doing a pull off with the fourth finger, the first finger to the open. Now I can imagine that might be tricky for some of you, so I'll show you an alternative fingering. I just got a little bit more control over the melody that way instead of doing it. But you can also do that with your quasi-open B string. You could go do a pull off and another pull off, but I couldn't get the phrasing right. So that was a "you can make your heart feel." I couldn't really nail it with an open string, but if this is bothersome for you, you can fudge something, I'm sure. And another thing that I'd like to show you, you might be wondering, well, why not do this with the fingers? Because my strings are so close together on this Maton steel string, you know, string spacing, they're close together this way, that it's very likely that if I go in here to try to pluck the third string, I'll bonk the back of the finger into the second string and stop it from ringing. So if I come at it from the thumb direction, there's no way that I can accidentally mute that second string. See, because I'm plucking from literally two different directions. Oops, muted. See, you can even hear that fingernail cracking into the second string. See? It's not reliable enough. But when I use the thumb, the second string can keep ringing. So even if you do the pull-off, that might, coming from different directions with the plucking hand, might help you get strings to ring. I have to do this on yesterday. Now, yesterday, of course, not to jump around too much, but when I go, and then this is very tricky. So I'm coming up, and I'm guaranteed that I won't bonk into the string. So let me play that for you without all the talking now. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now you're going to do this chord again. You're going to hammer on that note. Okay. Now let me show you. There's a reason that I believe I'm jumping that third finger. It's because I want to get that hammer on. Let me show you that move. I went through that a little bit fast. This is sort of like an E minor shape chord. Something it won't. Those are the bass chords that we're putting this on top of. Then you're going to put your third finger, 6th fret. Except you don't need to, you can just pluck the 5th and 1st string because the 3rd string will have been ringing. Third string is ringing even though it's very quiet. But then for the hammer-on, I pluck both over here with the right hand. And now look at this. I'm muting when I put that C, well, that's not a C, when I put that E flat down. See? Now I'm muting the low string. Okay? Okay, so let's do bars 1 through 4 of the hook. Nice and slow. 1, 2. And that's bars 1 through 4. All right, let's go to the next video and do bars 5 and 6 of the hook. All right. All righty, welcome back. We are now at bars 5 and 6 of the hook. And we're going to start with sort of a shell of like an E minor shape. We're only going to have the top note, which is not a normal top note for an E minor. It's just the 6th fret. And by the way, this is a G minor chord since we're capoed up at the 3rd fret. Now, the melody, this note comes right on the downbeat. We're going to go, okay? However, there's a little lead up into it. We're going to play those 2 strings and then that note. So we're going to start on the and of 4 of the previous measure. So it's going to sound like 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Bo bo bam. So I sang bo bo bam, and that's going to be, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Next, we're going to come over with the 1st finger. It's going to almost be like a D, a little bit of a D shape. It's not a D shape though. It's not this chord, but it's how the shape that you can relate to for the melody. Now watch. Hammer the 2nd finger. Then pull off. And like the last video, I'll probably, for my technique, go up there with my thumb. If you can get that all to ring cleanly, by all means, use your index finger. I just probably for myself will go. It's a little bit more reliable for my thing. Now there's a nice thing here that I'd like to call your attention to. A lot of classical guitar has intervals that will sometimes creep up 2 strings like that on the 1st and 3rd string. And a Chet Atkins, Tommy Emmanuel kind of thing is to break that up across a couple strings. So, because if you do it like this, there's no possibility for notes to ring over. But if you go, ah. See, by throwing an open 2nd string in there, it gets that sound of strings bleeding over one another, which is what we want in this case. Okay, so. Okay, next, you're going to come over 1st finger and 2nd finger on the 6th string and the 3rd string, And with the right hand, you're going to play 6th string and all the top 3 treble strings. Going to add the pinky. These final. Now this is going to seem a little bit maybe like an unnecessary motion, but I like the sound of this fingering, which I'm about to show you. Let go of everything. 3rd finger, 5th fret. So we get a slide up into that note. It sounds a little bit more like the vocal. These final hours. Ooh. You could do probably some kind of variation where you just do it on the 2nd string. But I like, and I'm going to have to work on that. Okay. Let me just play bars 5 and 6 for you of the hook, nice and slow. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You can mess with which fingers you would do that with. Either 1 and 3 or just 2 sliding up and down. There's a couple different ways that could be fingered, and you'll have to find what's right for you. And you might want to do that. These final hours. I'm not a singer. That's why I play guitar. All right, let's go to bars 7 and 8 of the hook. All right. All right, welcome back. We're at bars 7 and 8 of the bridge. You know, during the break, I was actually fooling around with another fingering that I just want to show you. Because it's just an alternative depending on how you would like to express the melody and what's comfortable. Watch this. We were doing a pull off there, right? You could also do this. Watch. So I left my first finger down. Leave the first finger down and do a hammer. It just depends what's comfortable for you. So just to give you a heads up, I might do an open string. I might do this. And if it doesn't hook up with the tabs 100%, I apologize, because I'm kind of, as an improviser, I'll grab different things at different times. Okay, so let's look at bars 7 and 8. They're really similar to bars 5 and 6 of the hook. The only difference really is that we're going to be going a double hammer-on going into the melody. I would lay down my heart. I would lay down my heart. Okay. Whereas the first time we got into it, we went. Because she sings, here in my down, here in my. So we strike the high note first, that's bar 4. But then when she goes, I would lay down my, we want to get that melody. So it's a little bit different going in. So it's the same basic same material. Sorry if it's hard to play and speak at the same time. So let me do bars 5, 6, 7, 8 for you, and you can just watch it. You can just watch it go by, okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and okay. So this is really hard for me to be consistent and play the exact same thing, since you know that's one of the beauties of when you get a couple different fingerings underneath your fingers, that you can kind of make last minute little tasteful expressive decisions. So that's my justification for not playing the same thing all the time. All right, so let's keep going. The hook has some extra stuff on the end. Let's take a look at that in the next video. All right. All right. We're going to look at bars 9, 10, 11, and 12 of the hook. This is sort of like the after hook, or it's a weirdly beautiful and irregular kind of form to the song. Okay, now I add some extra bars in here that are not on the original version. So how about I just sing you the original melody so that you can see what we're going to be covering before we get into all the complicated or slightly complicated fingerings. Okay, so we have what we did in the last video. Here we go. You don't. Oh, you don't. Okay, now this you don't, I extend that. I make it a little longer than she sings it. Let me sing you just the basic idea of my version now and what we're going to base the arrangement on. Okay? You don't, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then it's going to close out with another vocal phrase. Okay, so let's just get right into this piece and then this section, and then at the end you'll see how it's all pieced together. 1, 2, ready, and see, so I played the 15th fret harmonic on the 5th string. You don't. Okay, now we're going to go for one note, 8th fret on the 3rd string. Okay, and one of the things that I like to do is I just put my thumb, I get my thumb out of the way from that 5th string. Sometimes I put it on the 6th string, or sometimes I lean it into the top of the guitar. Okay, so that timing may be a little bit tricky to hear. It's like oh, you don't. Okay, let's do that first part. You don't, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me show you what I do on the second. You don't. Then I go. And those are triplets, which I didn't play as triplets just there. I just wanted to show you. It looks like a D7 chord, right? Leave the high E string off. So the challenge here is to let that vocal note ring as long as you can. You don't, and then the other stuff is accompaniment, okay? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. You know, I just realized maybe I could leave my thumb on the 4th string. Now let me sing you that triplet rhythm. These are the 16th notes. You don't bang a do dango do dango do jing. Again, ready? Same thing. You don't chick do chick 16th bag a dig bang it to bang but dig you don't shake it do triplet bang jing. Cause I can't make. All right, so let me play bars 9, 10, 11, 12 for you. Nice and slow, okay? 1, 1, 2, ready, and. Two, 3, okay? So after that, there's going to be another little vocal phrase, which we're going to do in the next video. All right. All right, welcome back. We are now at bars 13 and 14 of the hook. It's one last cry of the heart. It's one last time that the I can't make you love me, bang, if you don't. There's one last time that phrase is sung, and it falls in a very beautiful place in the phrase, and it's kind of an interesting form to have a 14-bar hook. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I finger it, but first I'd like to show you the timing of it. So I'm going to kind of sing through, starting where we started with the you don't, with this last little arpeggio kind of thing that we did. So here's the rough idea, okay? 1, 2, 3, and you don't. You don't. 1, 2, 3. 'Cause I can't make you love me. 2, 3. If you don't. And then that a sort of thing like the intro is going to come in again. Okay, so that's the shape of the timing of the musical phrase. Now let me show you how I play this. I got some extra hammer-on kind of thingies that one might not expect. You're going to start with a chord shape, 5th string and 2nd string with the 2nd and 3rd finger at the 6th fret, so it looks like the 3rd fret, but remember we got a capo, so 6th fret. And you're going to do, so it's 2 hammer-ons. That one, bo ba ba ba, Ooh, hammer, hammer. 1, 2, 3. So the bass note actually hits on beat 1. If you watch in the rhythm where my thumb is hitting. So all this frilly kind of hammery stuff is happening, and the note is already ringing by the time we're hitting beat 1. 'Cause I can't make. The word make actually didn't fall on the downbeat there. 1, 2, 3. 'Cause I can't make down. Okay. So nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You can kind of, there's a couple different ways you could play this. But the main thing is, I like the sound of that second string when I hammer that on. I like that harmony. Okay, and then you're going to just hit an open string all by itself. I can make you love me. I don't think that's actually part of the vocals, but I add that, okay? Oops, sorry. Then I play this chord, but it's really only accompaniment, okay? You don't want to strum across the top string as I did just previously. You want that high E string should ring through uninterrupted. And then we're going to end, if you don't. And then we're just going to, that'll be the last note of this video lesson. So I'm going to count this in now so you hear where it's coming in time. Okay, this last 2 bars with the pickup. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I forgot to tell you about that hammer on. And then again, that thumb is going to be right on beat 1 of our interlude. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to play you the hook all the way through, nice and slow. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and one little last thing that I forgot to mention is sometimes after that open string, I'll just play the 11th fret. Sometimes I play the chord, as I mentioned. Sometimes I just play this. So it could have been nicer tone. That's a possibility, or just that's a possibility too. Okay, so let's go on to the next video where I show you the slightly different interlude that's going to come before the second verse. All right, here we go.